Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am 18-year-old Emerald Edwards, Miss Teen Awareness Los Bajos. The theme for the Miss Teen Awareness Pageant 2017 is suicide. Suicide is the act of taking one's life. Many factors and circumstances can contribute to someone's decision to end his or her life. Suicide is a complex issue involving numerous factors and should not be attributed to any one single cause. Not all people who die by suicide have been diagnosed with mental illness, and not all people with a mental illness attempt to end their lives by suicide. People who experience suicidal thoughts and feelings are suffering with tremendous emotional pain. People who have died by suicide typically had overwhelming feelings of hopelessness, despair, and helplessness. The majority of suicides can be prevented. There are a number of measures that can be taken at community and national levels to reduce the risk. At a more personal level, it is important to know that only a small number of suicides happen without warning. Most people who die by suicides give definite warning of their intentions. Therefore, all threats of self-harm should be taken seriously. According to Freighter.com, the top 10 common methods of suicide in descending order are drowning, electric shock, exsanguination, jumping, suffocation, carbon monoxide inhalation, poisoning, hanging, drug or alcohol overdose, and gunshots. Someone may be more likely to attempt suicide if they have a mental health disorder. About 90% of people who commit suicide have a mental illness at the time of their deaths. Depression is the top risk factor, but there are various other mental health disorders that can contribute to suicide, including bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Depression is a serious mood disorder that affects the way a person thinks, feels, and acts. A big part of depression is thinking irrationally. This means a person is putting together the pieces of their life in ways that we wouldn't understand. Aside from mental illness, there are several risk factors that may contribute to thoughts of suicide, attempted suicide, and actual suicide. They include substance abuse, incarceration, poor job security or low levels of job satisfaction, history of being abused or witnessing continuous abuse, being diagnosed with a serious mental condition such as HIV or cancer, being socially isolated, or a victim of bullying. A protective factor is a characteristic or attribute that reduces the likelihood of attempting or completing suicide, according to Western Michigan University. Protective factors are skills, strengths, or resources that help people deal more effectively with stressful events. In our communities, opportunities for suicide prevention activities can include a suicide awareness walk, giving out books, brochures, CDs, etc. to persons on awareness, having community guidance counselor in the community, seminars with lectures and exciting activities on awareness. This pageant has had a positive impact on me thus far. I was given the lovely opportunity to be educated on valuable life lessons that I could use in the future. Remember, a suicidal person may not ask for help, but that doesn't mean that help isn't wanted. People who take their lives don't want to die, they just want to stop hurting. Suicide prevention begins with recognizing the warning signs and taking them seriously. No single discipline or societal organization is solely responsible for suicide prevention because suicide prevention is everyone's responsibility. It takes a life to save a life. Be the life that saves. Be the one that listens. I will listen. Thank you.